Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode our LRM carrier got literally one-shot by an Ifrit. That wasn't super shocking. We knew that that was always a risk, and the LRM carrier may or may not be dead. The pilot is very likely dead, but he could technically survive it. We'll see what ends up happening here. We are of course attacking up over here, and I want our Nidhogg to actually continue attacking front arcs. So I want to position it about here, and we're going to continue to bombard the front arc of this king crab, because I want to be able to use fire support to take these guys down at range, ideally. So we're going to continue to chip down the front arc of this king crab. We missed that missile, sadly, but we got two of them there, and that'll do. And I mean, that did like 2 damage out over here, so that's okay. We're going to have our Black Knight, which is not in the greatest of shape, disengage. The Black Knight is backing off for now. We used it as bait and they took the bait, but the Black Knight does need to pull back, otherwise we could lose the binary laser, and we would prefer not to do that. It's not the end of the world if we lose it, but we would definitely prefer not to. Okay, so that Griffin moves up a little bit, goes for our crossbow side arc, which isn't shocking. We knew that the crossbow was going to take some fire in this position, but we used it to exhaust the last of the Ifrit's AMS, allowing the Bandersnatch to take it down. So that is good. The Epimetheus Prime, the pilot is bleeding out here. Let's position it right up over here, checking these hit odds. We're going to fire on this Jaeger. Odds are not amazing, but we're still going to take it. Okay. We missed the autocannon. I was hoping to stray shot that, but it didn't end up happening. We got a couple of internal shots on our Jaeger there. Upper leg destruction. Okay, that's fine. No problem whatsoever there. So next round is, of course, going to be this king crab moving. And let's see what he decides to do. Ooh. He actually had rear arc there. I didn't expect him to have rear arc, but we got lucky in how that laid out. So that's good. The crossbow is not going to be able to move for a bit, but all of their units have now moved, so that's okay. The Devastator is going to make its way out this direction, I feel like. Actually, out over here is probably the best place for it. Let's look at the Griffin. 47.3% hit odds. You know what? I'm going to take that. The AC-20 may do a lot of damage there. Sadly, we missed both of them. It was decent hit odds that we would hit at least one of them, but it didn't happen. That's okay. The Jerry-Rig Demolisher is going to cruise right up over here, and I'm going to fire on the King Crab, actually. The Jaeger is wounded for sure, but I'm concerned about the King Crab's damage output, and I don't think that we're going to kill it this round. I think it'll get another round, so I want to fire the eye rockets at it to make its heat just unbearable. That's the idea here. We might do significant damage to it as well, and if we do take out that arm, that would be amazing. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Fantastic. So that is going to reduce his heat capability, and that's going to significantly reduce his fighting capability for a little bit. Our rifleman can't really get anywhere particularly useful in terms of LOS, so we're just going to move it up and sink some. And next round, we are going to be moving our Crossbow X first. Okay, so the Crossbow X could move out over here. This would be side arc on that King Crab.
Roger that.
You know what? I'm going to take that. This is that King Crab's weakened side arc.
Copy that.
Beautiful. Structure exposure there, and we end up destroying one of those arms. That is half of that. Oh, King Crab actually ejected. So the King Crab is out of here. That's very good for us. He was the highest threat unit. Now, the crossbow is going to need to turn around for sure. It does not make it to cover. So instead, we're going to back it off a little bit here. Can we get too evasive and be in an interesting position? We can. This would be exposing the left side to this Griffin, and that is acceptable.
Heading out.
Okay, so we'll position the crossbow here, and we can then fire on the Jaeger in ER mode on this LRM-20. And we could do a lot of damage to this Jaeger. We're in cleanup mode at this point. Okay, LBX-5 cluster ammo explosion, and the Jaeger is gone. Beautiful. And then there were 3? Yeah, there's 3 because there's this Marauder out over here that I keep forgetting about. The Marauder moves up and fires on our Grasshopper, getting 3 hits there, but the Grasshopper is pretty fresh and is not very concerned about
Losing
that.
armor.
Okay, next up is our Marauder. This is our UAC-5 Marauder, and we're going to position that about here. We're in cover. We could fire on the Griffin, we could fire on the Sorcerer, or we could fire on their Marauder. The Sorcerer is the best hit odds, and we'll take it. Not the best of damage dealt there, no doubt about that. My question is, what is the rear arc like on this Marauder? Quite weak. Okay, that is noted. So the Grasshopper can head up over this way. There are some mines up over here, but I want to engage this Griffin. Hit odds aren't the best at this distance, and that makes sense.
Giving them everything I've got.
Okay, we did 7 damage. That went very poorly, but we can get closed in over there. So next they're going to be moving their Griffin. Who are we concerned about them hitting? The Epimetheus is probably the lowest armor, but I'm really not that concerned about it. Okay, they fire on the crossbow. That's fine. No worries there. Cool. So next up, our Epimetheus is going to step forward to about here. We could fire on that Sorcerer. Hit odds are low. We could fire on the Marauder. Hit odds are very low. Or we could fire on the Griffin. Hit odds are pretty low. Or we could sink heat. And that's what we're going to do. Hit odds are just too low for us to want to take that right now, and phase 15 is going to be this Sorcerer. So the Sorcerer has quad PPCs, and that can do a lot of damage. If it hits anything. How's this heat after that salvo? Absolutely fine. And 2 of its PPCs just jammed. Okay, that's noted. So our Bandersnatch is wanting to get into LOS of something. And we can hop up here and see what we've got. 14%, 21, and 27. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely fire on this Sorcerer. It has weakened front armor, and that's okay. Light him up. Okay, he's got that cover, so it'll be a little bit before we get chipped through there. Next up is going to be our Jerry-Rig Demolisher, and that guy is going to position somewhere up here. I want more evasive, though. Here. Here. This is better. We'll position here, and we're just going to fire our heavy rifles here. Good side arc damage there. We don't penetrate the armor, but we definitely do a lot of damage to that side arc. Its armor is a lot lower now. Next up is our Black Knight. Our Black Knight is still being disengaged. We're just hanging out back here.
Moving fast.
Okay. So the Rifleman can position somewhere up over this way. This is actually an unobstructed LOS on that Marauder. Alternatively, we could fire past our crossbow here. I don't like that choice. Let's take this uninterrupted LOS here and see if we get any hits here. It's about a 50-50. We did. Okay. So we hit one of those PPCs. Next up is our Nidhogg. And I would love for our Nidhogg to get up into a rear arc here. Unfortunately, that's not really an option. I'm just going to position it here, and we're going to take the side arc on this Marauder and start chipping it down. Ammo's running low, but that's okay. Excellent.
I am out of SRMs.
Okay, so who is next? Next up is our Devastator. And the Devastator is going to position somewhere up over here. We are looking to take on this Griffin, and this seems okay. We're just going straight in here, light him up. We hit one of those autocannons. Cool. So the Griffin should have significantly weakened armor in some area. This torso? Okay, that is definitely significantly weakened. So our Bandersnatch moves next. We're going to position it here. We have direct LOS up there. I'm just checking hit odds. Yeah, we'll actually take the direct LOS on this Marauder. That is the best hit odds, so we'll take it. Chipping down that frontal armor a little bit on the Marauder. The plan was to go into the rear arc, but I'm not sure we end up getting there. Now, the Crossbow X is in a lot of fire here, and that, of course, means it's running pretty hot. Our sprints aren't going to do anything of note. So I'm just going to position it here. I don't think we even take this shot. We just sink heat. That'll work for now.
Yes, Commander.
And the Grasshopper is going to make its way up over here. Yeah, there's going to be some landmines there. We're going to keep facing roughly the same way and light this guy up again. Missing that autocannon again is very sad. We're having a hard time hitting this Griffin, and he's at 3 evasive, so that's not great. We're going to position our Marauder here. We're breaking cover with it, but it's relatively fresh. We can fire on that Sorcerer. Good hit odds on that. Take it. So this is going to happen mostly on this side, I believe. We definitely penetrate the armor there.
Onward! No retreat!
Looks good.
Orders.
Next up is our LRM crossbow. That is going to continue to move up over this way. And we could fire on that Griffin. Good hit odds there. Also good hit odds on the Sorcerer. And with this exposed structure here, do we want to fire on the Sorcerer? No. I'm going to soften up the Griffin here, and we're going to see what we get here. Okay.
Hit him hard.
So we do not penetrate the armor there, but that is fine. We're really close to penetrating the armor on that Griffin. So that Marauder moves up and fires on our Grasshopper, getting through the armor. I believe that's in the arm. Is there anything in that arm? I believe that's the right arm. Yes. That is where our AC-20 is. Okay, we can replace an AC-20 in a medium laser, but we'd prefer not to. So for the moment, we can definitely use our jerry-rig demolisher to ram this Sorcerer if we wanted to. Actually, I think we might be moving too quickly to do it. Yeah, it seems so. So I'm going to position us about here, where we can take this side arc shot on the Sorcerer. Very little internal damage there, unfortunately. Now, the Sorcerer does lose its evasive, but it gets to move instantly. So that is very, very sad. It backs off a little bit and fires on our jerry-rig demolisher, hitting a number of hits there, but the jerry-rig demolisher is okay for the moment. Not forever, especially since this Sorcerer's other PPCs just got unjammed.
Yes, Commander.
Okay. The Rifleman is going to position here. We can fire on that Griffin, and that's probably who we're going to shoot at. Actually, hit odds are slightly better on this Sorcerer, believe it or not. So we're going to light this guy up, doing a little bit more damage there. Internal damage to that leg, upper leg destruction, and a PPC target jamming there. Okay. That Sorcerer is still kicking pretty well, though. The Black Knight, of course, is just going to brace down here. We want it disengaged. The Epimetheus can position about here.
Acknowledge.
And let's see what we've got. 23.8, 35.1. Sorcerer it is. Do we want to pot shot that AC-20? I'm going to do it.
I copy.
We did miss it, sadly. Okay. That was all armor damage there. There's not much armor left on the Sorcerer, though. 654 in total. The Griffin moves forward, fires on our rifle. That is not a choice I would have made. Okay. So our Nidhogg, I think... I'm thinking about whether we want to be attacking the front or the rear arc of this Marauder. And I think the answer is rear arc here. It's just a little bit awkward. I want to switch over to AGMs here. Yeah, we'll position it here. And we'll light up this guy with a snub nose and AGM in the rear arc. It could do some damage, but it didn't. Okay. We did penetrate the armor on that Marauder and made him sad. But that wasn't the finest hit in the land. So next up is our Devastator. Do we want to position, like, here and just go side arc on this Griffin? I think the answer to that is yes.
Locking in all weapons.
Okay, that didn't go so well on the autocannons, especially considering we had, like, 80% hit odds there. I think we missed both of them. That is sad. Our Crossbow X is going to advance forward over here.
Affirmative.
And let's fire on that Griffin. Finish him off. Ooh, explosion containment from the ammo explosion. Okay. Well, he may or may not eject after that one, but he is in bad shape. Okay, he did not eject. Next up is our Bandersnatch. I do not want to focus on this guy over here. So 32.7 versus 29.8. Not the best hit odds here. Let's just move slightly over this way. See if we can boost these a bit. Not really. We'll fire on that sorcerer and see what we get done. A hand destruction. Okay. Well, next up is our LRM crossbow. I'm going to position that right up over here. I want to go for this sorcerer. The sorcerer is really, really close to going down. We just need a solid hit. I mean, that was a solid hit, but it wasn't a solid enough hit. But yeah, that sorcerer is really close. So I'm going to take the Marauder up over here, and this is likely to finish off the sorcerer. Yeah, there we go. So the sorcerer is down with an engine destruction. Fantastic. Next up is the grasshopper, which is positioning right up over here and is going for the kill on this griffin. The griffin is likely dead as well. And there we go. Beautiful. So Comstar Support Lance 1 is gone. All that is left now is that Marauder. So the Marauder gets to move, and then we can respond. What you gonna do, Marauder? Firing at the grasshopper? Okay, that's a very long-range shot, and it didn't get very much done.
Heavy damage.
So that's okay for now. Next up is going to be our Epimetheus. And our Epimetheus is going to head out over this way. This is not going to be the best hit odds when we're sprinting and this far away in an obstructed LOS, but we'll take it. We'll see what we managed to get done there. I believe that was a grand total of 9 damage, which is not a lot. The Jerry-Rig Demolisher is going to see about moving up over this way. We can pot shot this. We can maybe... Would we be better off firing different rounds? No, we wouldn't. Okay. Well, a little bit more side arc damage into that Marauder. And next up is our Nidhogg. So the Nidhogg is going to be positioning about here.
Got it.
And we are going to fire another rear arc shot into this Marauder.
Putting one in the back.
That's a better shot. We ended up critting their engine core.
Taking a critical hit.
But he's not gone yet.
Ammo in multiple weapons.
Okay, so 50 HP left in that CT. That is fine.
Commander.
Our rifleman is going to step forward and continue to fire on that Marauder. Hit odds are low, but we'll give it a go.
Target confirmed.
We did actually manage to hit one of those ERPPCs, remarkably.
Commander.
And of course, our Black Knight is still disengaged.
Stabilizing and bracing.
Okay, so the Devastator is going to close in as much as it can, which isn't very much. And next round. So now it's our Crossbow X. I kind of like taking this position here and lobbing some MRMs at this guy. We don't have very many left, but let's see what we get done. That's a number of hits there, including a head hit. Okay, cool. So that arc is definitely weakening. The Bandersnatch is going to remain exactly where it is, and we're just going to fire at this Marauder. Nice. We made it through the armor there and did a lot of damage to him.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
Looks good. So he's now unsteady as well. He'll get to move relatively soon, but not super soon. I'm going to position the crossbow out over here, and we're going to continue to fire at that Marauder. Beautiful. I did not necessarily want to destroy the arm there. I wanted to get more armor damage towards the torso. And that's exactly what we got there with that front arc. So that looks good. The Black Knight's not going to move, of course. And next is the Marauder, which has this same side arc. And we're going to keep pummeling this Marauder. A lot of damage into that side arc. And the pilot ejects. So that is perfect. The question now becomes, what is the fate of our LRM carrier? Was it destroyed, and did we lose Coach? If we did, it's not the end of the world. We can put a new pilot in there. And as far as the LRM carrier itself goes, what is the tonnage of that? The LRM carrier, like all of our vehicles right now, are kind of glass cannons. The main exception being the Nidhogg, which is difficult to hit. So that's all great. 2.3 million C-bills there. But what ends up happening? I mean, yeah, we took a lot of armor damage. No doubt about that. Let's check through here real quick. There's an ERPPC in here. There's a sniper artillery. I think I know what we want out of this if it is available. Yes. What we want here is a marksman SPG part to potentially replace that LRM carrier. Potentially. I don't know if we have the tonnage. That might be something that is concerning. And I don't know if the LRM carrier is actually destroyed. We'll find out. Having artillery, though, would be very handy. Artillery in a vehicle, no less. So that would be wonderful. The question then, of course, becomes, are we running into any sort of drop limit issues with that? We have the Marksman SPG either way, and I probably want to do the upgrade either way as well. But we may have to downgrade a mech a little bit. I think an LRM carrier is 30 tons? So we might have to drop 35 tons. Okay, so Coach has indeed died. That was unsurprising. It looks like the LRM carrier was not destroyed. Okay, so the LRM carrier is going to be back most likely here, but Coach did die. So I want to go into our barracks here and take a quick look. Do we have anyone who can drive a vehicle in our substitutes? No. So we're going to want to hire a new mech warrior who can drive a vehicle. We'll hop into the hiring hall here. Hotbox can't drive a vehicle. Okay, we might have to travel here then. Yeah, we probably do have to travel. So in that case, let's head to navigation, and where do we want to go? Well, this is a 4 skill. We may want to go to not something too much higher than that, but like a 5. You know what? Let's do it. So let's head on over. That'll be absolutely okay. The Steiners are very happy with us, obviously. And we're going to get our mech warriors back here. These repairs are going to be quite a thing. Apparently we don't have a lounge yet, but Klist is in high spirits, and that is good. Now, one thing I do want to do before we go too much further here is I want to hop into the mech bay and ready that SPG. So we're going to hop into our components here, or rather our storage. And that is, I believe, a 65-tonner? Yeah. So let's ready that.
That mech is ready to fight, Commander.
And that should be a sniper artillery vehicle. Actually, the carrier is only 5 tons less. The Marksman SPG has a lot more in terms of armor. It's much less likely to get one shot like that. And it's got that sniper artillery, which I think we'll be able to use very, very well. The question is, will we be 5 tons over? I believe we're currently exactly at our drop weight limit. I don't know for a fact, but we'll find out once we arrive. So we'll arrive at Carver shortly. And we're jumping. There we go. Fantastic. The lounge is going to finish here, and we are going to hop into engineering again, because we need to continue to upgrade here. So we're going to get the upgraded lounge. There we go. And continue to tick. Excellent. And we've arrived at Carver now, and we need to check the hiring hall for someone who can drive a vehicle. That is the only qualification that we need. So this is a lot of Dan's, but that is definitely something that we could do. He is, I think, the same skills as Rook, though.
Need something, Chief?
And Succubus.
Standing by.
But Rook is the cheapest out of all of these. Okay, so we want somebody who can drive a vehicle, and Rook will work. Sounds great. So we have a couple more days of repairs here. We should probably check our internals and make sure that those are... Stop ticking forward. We need to check our internals and make sure that those are good to go. So we need to head into our mech bays. Yeah, our Black Knight needs a little bit of work. I don't think our crossbow does, but our Black Knight definitely does. Okay, so we ended up losing 2 double heat sinks and a medium pulse laser over here. That's really not so bad. I'm pretty sure we have a medium pulse laser. Yeah, here's a medium pulse laser. And then 2 double heat sinks, which again, I'm pretty sure we have. That's a heatsink kit. Hang on. Yeah, we've got 11 of these. So that's absolutely fine. We can get those on. We'll validate that. That'll take 2 days to get done. And I'm pretty sure that the rifleman is just slightly underweight. I'm pretty sure that's what we've got going on here. But let's double check it, actually. The rifleman is 0.1 tons underweight. No problem here. So that's fine. And let's double check the crossbow and make sure that that doesn't need anything. Everything else looks good. Yep, that looks absolutely fine as well, as expected. So no problem there either. Excellent. So all we need to do now is tick forward 2 additional days for our Black Knight.
Job's done.
And there we go. We are now ready to deploy. And we'll go through our training next episode, I think. That'll be absolutely fine. This is technically a slightly higher difficulty area. I do want to check, though, before we go. I'm just going to grab a random contract here. We're not actually going to do it. But I'm just going to grab a random contract, and I want to check to see. We put all of this in. And, of course, I want to have Rook in the LRM carrier. But what I want to do is I want to drop the LRM carrier for the Marksman SPG. Total lance tonnage must be less than 820 tons. Yes. So we are at our cap. Okay. We'll have to figure out how we want to handle that. That is noted. We need to drop 5 tons somewhere.
Nice to see you down here in the
So,
hole.
how can we do that? Well, we could swap one of our, 75 tonners for a 70 tonner. Like the Black Knight, I think, is an interesting option for that. What do we have for a 70 tonner? We could get, an Archer? That could potentially replace the Bandersnatch. You know what? Let's do it. So this is the 5S variant. I want to check the hard points first. So I'm not going to do this quite yet. 542. Okay. I think that's absolutely fine. So we'll just do that for now. We'll get this Archer online.
Is cleared for fighting.
And it is using an XL engine, but let's see what the status of that is. So we're probably going to have to deploy 1 time because this Archer is going to take a while to refit. We'll have to deploy 1 time with the carrier. I'm okay with that. Let's just repair all here and max this armor out. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that we have missing here. You know what? This is a thing that we can do next episode. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's already a little too late to get that going. We can get this done when we have a little bit of spare time. That'll be okay. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.